Hi, I'm Micic and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, Shaelyn Connor and I will teach you exactly how actors learn their lines. So first of all, I should probably let Shaelyn introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Shaelyn Connor. I'm an actor, singer, performer, and this is my 5th year of performing/acting. I started training in 2016 with Acting Performance Studio with Luke Robson. I loved that class so much. It was my introduction to acting and it changed my life. I really needed it at that point, and I think that acting was my escape. It still is my escape, and I couldn't go back to my life without acting. I love it so much. I want to do it professionally. I've done short films. Peeps is my most recent, and that experience was absolutely amazing. I can't put it into words. I've done plays and musicals with amateur theatre companies as well as my school. I train full-time at Patrick Studios Australia, doing dancing, singing and acting full-time as well as outside of school. I've also trained at YABC, VYT and Brave Studios over the 5 years, but I'm currently at Patrick Studios and I don't really have any time to train anywhere else at the moment. My Instagram is at Shaelyn Connor, as well as my YouTube. My StarNow and casting workshops will be in the description.
So, without further ado, let's get into the video. So, first of all, we're going to discuss scenes, which we do with one or more other actors. So when you do acting class with other people, you will most likely do this, as it's a great way to learn how to perform and rehearse with other actors. So solo learning is a huge part of scene work, and I'll help you through it. So first, my first and foremost tip is to learn each line separately. So how do I do this? So basically I will read the line twice and then I will cover my eyes and say it once. Then I will check the script to see if I was right, and if I wasn't, then I'll repeat the process. But if I was, then I will continue to the next line because I am confident that I have rehearsed this and memorized it. Speed throughs are also really helpful, but just be aware that it can cause you to remember lines all clumped up, and just do it at your own risk.
When it comes to performing in a scene with multiple people, I first start by reading over the scene 6, 7, 8 times so that I at least have the flow of the scene in my mind. I get the feel of it. I can get it in my body a little bit. Each of my lines, I break them into phrases or thoughts. So I usually, after I started breaking down the lines into phrases or thoughts or sections, I then either, if I have the opportunity, I get the other cast members to record themselves saying their lines and leaving gaps where I would be saying my line. What this does, so I'm an oral learner, so I work best when I hear the instructions, or I prefer listening to audiobooks than I do reading, that sort of thing. So I found that recording my lines with the scene partner, or if it's an audition, I just do it myself because you obviously don't have someone else there for you, but at that point I do it myself, and then I say my lines back and forth between the recording, and that just usually helps me get the flow of it. And if I record it in multiple ways, then I can at least, be prepared for whatever anyone might throw at me. When I learn any part of a text or scene, etc., I find it much better to rehearse it as words rather than as a scene. When you rehearse something with emotion, and you only rehearse it with that emotion, it can get really difficult once you get direction on top of that, and to change that emotion, it can get really difficult to remember your words because of muscle memory. So let's say you've learnt a piece that you've perceived to be very angry, so you've learnt it angrily, and then you get to set or the audition and the director says, oh well, we were thinking it was more upset and saddened by this situation. It can get really difficult to relearn those words from already having them in your head as angry. So you pretty much have to relearn all of those words if you rehearse it the wrong way. I'm not saying that that's a wrong way of doing it. I've just learnt over time that for me it works best to just learn them as words.
For Shaelyn and I, our ex-acting teacher's advice is to make sure that you thoroughly know all of your lines before you get on set to film, because when you get on set, it's not like you just get there and perform. You're going to learn blocking and directions, and it's just too overwhelming to try and learn everything all at once. And this is something that both of us swear by.
I could do a scene with any actor. I think it would be Meryl Streep. She's been in the industry a very long time, and she is one of the most versatile actors I've ever seen, ever. She's an amazing actress and singer, and performer in general. She's beautiful, and performing a scene with her would be absolutely amazing. I also love Eddie Redmayne. I would love to work with them and see their process, but Meryl Streep, I think, above all.
If I could do a scene with any actor, I think it would have to be... Oh, you know, it's a tough one. Like, I've got a lot of people that I love to work with, but I think the ones coming to mind at the moment are Timothee Chalamet, Florence Pugh, and Tom Hanks. But overall, I just love to work with people who I could learn from and who I'd get along well with, and I think I would with them. But again, there's a whole long list of people that I would love to work with. And I have to say that if Robin Williams were alive today, I would have loved to work with him. But instead, I can honour his legacy by watching his movies and just being a huge fan of his work.
So moving forward onto monologues. So for those of you who are like, hold up, what the hell is a monologue? Let me explain. So a monologue is best described as a dialogue spoken by one character. So these are sometimes soliloquies, which offer an insight into the character's thoughts, but not necessarily. If you want to see an example of a monologue, be sure to click that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications, because each Monday I post up a new monologue performance as part of my #Monologue Monday challenge. Also, Shaelyn has some monologues on her YouTube channel, so make sure you go and check out her channel as well.
When I learn a monologue, it's very similar to the way I learn scenes in the way that I break it down into phrases and sections. So when I do this, I break it down on a hard copy. I find it easier than doing it on a laptop or digitally. I find it easier to write myself. I use the Uta Hagen method most of the time, not always. So I break them down into thoughts, and then I learn each thought separately. And once I've learnt each thought, I then piece them together one by one. With this, it's a lot of repetition and reading it to myself. So I record myself saying it and listen to it back and forth. As I said, I'm an oral learner, so I find it easier to learn things by hearing rather than looking or doing. When I get a monologue with or a scene with an accent, I always rehearse it with an accent. So if I have to do a British or an American accent, I will always rehearse the words with that accent. This just makes it so much easier when I'm adding emotion and direction and movement to this scene. With that, accents are something you should always learn while you're learning the words. I've found that if you have to add accent, direction, movement, other actors, it just gets a lot. So if you've already learnt that accent, you know how the words sound and feel. You know what it's supposed to sound like. So it's not as difficult to add it on afterwards, if you know what I mean.
So how do I learn monologues? So basically, my number one tip is I use highlighters to divide the text into chunks, and then I learn it part by part. That way it's just not completely overwhelming. And I use the previous technique of,
read it twice, then cover my eyes. Did I get it right? No. Okay, go again.
and if I know that, because my parts are quite large, I know if I'm getting like the start right but the ending not so right, then I'll go and I'll focus only on the parts that I'm getting wrong. So that just helps me overall get it all right and get it all memorized. I, in some cases, learn monologues by actually watching some other performances, because when I practice, I usually practice with movements. So because I don't have like an acting teacher or a director to guide me with movements, I need to make sure that I'm doing them myself. And so I will get some inspiration from other people, but I won't completely copy all of their movements, because then that's not authentic. That's an imitation, and that is not what anyone is looking for. I also learn monologues in the accent that I am going to perform them in. So this just basically tricks my brain into thinking, aha, okay, cool, you use this accent and that is exactly what you're going to perform in.
What do you have to say about memorizing lines? What's that? Practice makes perfect? Yes, it does.
So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and let us know in the comments below what you liked, what you didn't, your thoughts, any suggestions you have. Also, let us know if you want us to collaborate again, perhaps on a scene after lockdown is over. Whatever your thoughts are, let us know. Both of us are pretty active in the comments, so we will get back to you. And just, Shaelyn, thank you for collaborating with me on this video. It has been a pleasure working with you.
Thank you so much, Viv, for involving me in this project. I love what you're doing. I'll see you later. Please check out my Instagram and YouTube if you're interested. And yeah, see you later.
So if you want to see Shaelyn's channel, then please click here. And if you want to see my channel, then please click here. And another video is down here. And no, I was not trying to do that Wakanda forever thing. That sounded really Italian, but whatever. Definitely not trying to be an Avenger. But thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye!